the same presentation at Mar-a-Lago. Maxwell also introduced this same victim to other men at these events. Their names? Redacted. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I need to warn you again because what I'm about to describe in these FBI documents released today is a victim's account of what happened to her, and it's horrific. A victim who was 16 years old describes how Epstein's assistant Sarah would call her every time Epstein was in Palm Beach and schedule appointments for her visit. Each time, she says, something new was introduced. Each time, additional monies were produced and offered to get her to comply. She describes being forced to perform sex acts with Epstein and another woman. She says Epstein would photograph them and proudly display the photographs within the home. And then she describes what happened during one massage. She says Epstein grabbed her, turned her over onto her stomach on the massage table, and, quoting from the document, forcibly inserted his penis into her vagina. She says her head was being held against the table. She screamed no, and Epstein stopped. Afterward, he apologized and he paid her $1,000. Their names? Redacted. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I need to warn you again because what I'm about to describe in these FBI documents released today is a victim's account of what happened to her, and it's horrific. A victim who was 16 years old describes how Epstein's assistant Sarah would call her every time Epstein was in Palm Beach and schedule appointments for her visit. Each time, she says something new was introduced. Each time, additional monies were produced and offered to get her to comply. She describes being forced to perform sex acts with Epstein and another woman. She says Epstein would photograph them and proudly display the photos.
Unexpectedly went viral on YouTube. In the following 5 years, they embarked on 2 nationwide tours, parodied everything from Disney to Batman, and managed to pull in over $1 million in revenue in a single year. On social media, it looked like the troupe struck gold. But in reality, not so much. Part of what made Star Kids so popular was how they didn't charge people to watch their music, posting them entirely for free on YouTube. Because of this, the early years of Star Kids relied heavily on merchandise, album sales,
Violent rapist who paid children after assaulting them and then hung their pictures on his walls. Okay, so let's talk about what...
Frontier come 2014. And the rise of streaming made album sales irrelevant. Running out
Do you
of
want to play
money
live?
and carrying the weight of their fans' sky-high expectations.
So play with friends then.
Alright, shall I make the lobby or shall you?
I'm already making it.
Okay. What's the lobby code?
2761.
There.
Still hidden, though. The DOJ identified over 6 million pages covered by the Epstein Files Transparency Act, being from mostly a handful of entities. The cases have been disclosed, so we're hearing from detectives, documents, after Epstein's death, listing 8 co-conspirators, only 2 faces are visible: Maxwell and Sean Brunel. 6 are still dead. 6 co-conspirators still dead. Survivors are just today. This is being sold as transparency. What it actually does is expose survivors. Survivors are going to be information exposed to people and used as and protected from all. That's my house so far. There's a lot more coming. Subject with yourselves and to some grace every day. And I can do some of that grace too, because I'm so be kind to yourselves and kind to people who are doing this work. Or so. So, 3.5 million is invested in my for hours. I'm not done. No one is done. This is going to take weeks. But I need to tell you what I'm finding so far because this is significant.
Yes, and while that sounds overwhelming, and it is, let's be clear about what that actually means. The Department of Justice believes it now has over 6 million files, and only half of them are despite the fact that more than half of them.
Bullshit.
This is better
It's just really cute watching the two little guys put pieces together. Suck my cock.
And half of them, though, in that diagram is blacked out. They're going to be identity Particular note is a literal list of accusations against Trump. Parties at Mar-a-Lago, where the majority of them were brought here. Sections sold on stage by count and then auctioned off to the highest bidder. There is much more, and there's one individual I'm not personally capable of revealing files. So I would recommend you check out Eric Furness's videos on the topic. He and his team do have resources to review all those files, and they've been putting out very clear source breakdowns of what's happening so far.
How much of this is actually verified?
It's a good question, and the truth is that we don't really know yet. This is a developing story. There's a lot of potential manipulation by the DOJ, and they may be interested in these files are surprised if there are not some of those who are grand juries placed by the DOJ so that they can debunk them and use that to try and discredit the rest of the accusation. Nonetheless, we need to have everything out in the open first so that we can finally start obtaining the web of lies woven by Epstein and all, protecting him to bring justice to the survivors and hold those in power accountable for their crimes.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
These are additional complaint summaries. They list anyone from Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Paul Alexander. You can read them for yourself right here. Some additional complaints made against the President of the United States here. Take a read. And then right here is now I want to stress this. These pictures are going to start going around the internet very quickly because they've just been released. We don't know if they bring investigations.
I just got on the bus and I went to sit next to this girl and I was like, sorry, can you move your bag? She's like, yeah, sorry. Moved it, so cute. And then my friend pointed out to me, he was like, oh, look at her, like, you know, she just moved her bag and now she's fast asleep and she's just asleep with her phone in her hands. And I read my bag, okay, he told me to stop asleep. I was like, oh, it's okay. Okay, no worries. And then, like, she started falling asleep again and I'm like, hon, where are you getting off? You're asleep next to me. He's like, oh, okay, that's like, just get the phone. So, okay, what is my
I knew it.
Are you crazy? Slim, pretty, brunette, white girl. Are you insane? I just feel so happy because she's getting safe. You know, as a woman, this video is only something that you really appreciate. I'm not saying men don't, but I don't care about it. It's ingrained into women and you're taught it from the time you're like fucking 3 months old. I was gonna say 3 years. But anyway, I feel really happy because if I had done that, I'm more stressed. Even then, sometimes you don't know what you say. The way her front door set up, I don't feel something copyrighted. So I'm just really happy and I think it's really beautiful to be a woman. And then back Okay, what do you call it when somebody like stares at me or somebody thinks I'm attractive? Okay. You're crazy. Somebody stares at me or somebody thinks I'm attractive.
I should know we're here for the White House, and as we're waiting to see what this actually looks like in terms of actions on the ground, there is a new It is also disturbing. This analysis focuses on the 2 officers that raised their guns here.
I'm gonna need you to suck my dick.
See Alex Craig for the first time here. And it feels like a car ride. Ready to the sidewalk. Later, this person falls to the ground as an officer begins to restrain him. The officer in the green shirt rushes over to assist him. Together, they drag this person off the street as protesters gather this officer in the green shirt next to be seen sitting inside his car here. Now let's turn attention to the second officer. Turns his attention to Petty, pushing her up the face, ground. Petty steps away from them. The officer pepper sprays him in the face. Officers grab him and pull him to the ground. At this point, the officer wearing the green shirt and black hat emerges.
Bitch.
Appears to malfunction. As we slow this hearing down, held down by other agents. According to Steve, they were attempting to take Petty into custody, and that he resisted. Based on these videos, Petty can be seen on the ground with more than 5 officers around him. At this exact moment, gun from his waistband, directly in front of the officer in the green shirt here. Though it's unclear if he sees it, he pushes the officer in the gray shirt to the